Alright, Rap Grid, we here with Mr. Fab.
What up, world?
As far as the battle world is concerned, one of the first times I saw you was when you had the super big it was in the tall T days. You was battling
7X.
Jen out in Oakland. How did that joint even come about? Like what's the story behind it?
We battled in San Mateo, which is kind of like an Asian community. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. About 20,000 Asians in there. It was a hot import car nights. And we was just, I don't know, somebody had reached out to me like, yo, want to do it? Let's do the battle. Had a few dollars on it. We did it. It was crazy back then, because back then it was just like, it was just all freestyle, just all, you know, go out, rebuttal, back and forth, back and forth. I think we did like 3 rounds, something like that. It was crazy. It was like, you know, that was one of the early battles that was filmed. You know, I've been battling since the Wake Up Show. Like, man, when Sway used to make me battle, Sway used to be calling me like, yo, get here, get down to the Wake Up Show. I got somebody that think they nice. Like, that's how he used to do me years ago. I'm like 18, 19, get down here now. Come down, come to the Wake Up Show. Gotta get down, get on the radio. So it was crazy. I've been doing it for a long time.
So, and then after that, we talked about it a little bit before, but we didn't really go super in depth with the Hot 97 battle.
Oh, was it Hot 97? I think it was allhiphop.com. Allhiphop.com at SOBs. The card that night was pretty extensive. It was supposed to be like Joe Budden's, Rhyme Fest, Royce the 5'9", and myself. And we end up, I think something had happened to Joe Budden's brother, and so the only ones that had showed up was me and Royce the 5'9", and me and him went at it, and it was what it was. Like, we went battles. It was crazy. A lot of people was like, you know, I had got him, and just the back and forth that went with me and him. What was so crazy, you know, Royce is one of the most respected artists, lyricists in the game at that time, and still currently, with a pen is deadly. So for me to be able to make that name, make that done, that happened in New York at that time when everyone counted me out was definitely dope, which later led on to Slaughterhouse forming and them putting together one of the most monstrous groups, you know, in hip-hop history, or at least in the 21st century.
Do you feel like, I feel like you got one foot in the mainstream, one foot in the underground at all times. Do you feel like that helps you stay grounded and it makes you hustle a little bit harder?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think I'm the most known unknown cat in the rap world, just in general. Like, and it's still shocking to me. It's shocking to me sometimes when people are like, yo, I grew up listening to you, or I remember when you did this and you did that, and they're pointing out certain accolades that I've accomplished in my career. And to me, it's still like, I'm just an Oakland kid to me. No matter what I do, no matter how much money I make, no matter how much money I spend, no matter, you know, what my position on the status quo comes out as being, I'm just that dude from, you know, from 45th and Market. I'm just that same dude, and it be shocking to people. Like, I'm a hood rat, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just like doing hood rat things with my friends. Like, when you come to my neighborhood, it's nothing to see me on the corner, just chilling. And people be like, it be people who be shocked. They see me, they like, yo, is that Mr. Fab? Yo, Fab. And to me, I just be like, yo, what up? And even if you don't know me as Fab, like, I'll introduce myself as Stanley. You know, that's just how I am. And like you say, it's definitely been motivating for me to continue to keep working. One of the main ingredients in my mixture of a grind, and I feel like as the fixture helps me understand that no matter what, there's always going to be somebody who doesn't know you. I just recently was watching an interview with Mayweather, and he was in the barbershop getting his face lined up, and this lady had came in and she was like, I don't know who you are. And he was at awe. He was like, you don't know who I am? Like, I'm the highest paid athlete. I'm Money Mayweather. You don't know me? She was like, no, I don't know you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that shit, that's crazy. You know, but it's humbling in somewhat to let you know that how I look at it and what I got from that is, no matter how big you are, there's still someone who may not know who you are. So you have to continue to keep working. And we have to keep in mind, there are people around the world, you know, let's look, Aborigines who've never even heard of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? There are people who in villages in Africa who've never heard of, you know, whatever may be the biggest thing. So it's humbling.
So let me ask you this: you and Arsonal, just confirm, it's a battle everyone's been trying to get together for a minute. I think the new trend amongst the core battle fan base, not the new fans, but the people who've been watching it for a while. I think after the cannabis thing, the Joe Budden thing, there was a couple other smaller battles where legends was brought back and they just didn't do what they were supposed to. Do you think that has a negative effect on somebody like you coming into the battle?
I don't consider myself a legend. So to me that doesn't apply.
What do you think legends and cats who are active in the industry have records out before? Do you think y'all get grouped together just because people have that excitement of stuff?
I mean, life is about grafting and grouping. Everything is it's about what do you see and how do you match something to something. The imaging of, let's say per se, there's always been the statements that battle rappers can't make good songs. When Cassidy came out and did Back to the Hotel, the 6, what is it, 5 in the morning, whatever his records was.
Drinking, you know, a two-step.
Yeah, he got two-step, he had whatever, he had like 3 big records that Swiss did that murdered that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, people forget LL Cool J when he first was coming out and he was, you know, destroying cats and was like a hell of a battle rapper. LL still had crazy hits. And throughout the course of history, there has been always the saying of what people say. And people gonna say what they gonna say regardless, so you pay no attention to that. Sometimes it's true. When you're so good at one thing, it's hard for you to kind of go over to the next. Michael Jordan, for instance, being great in basketball, making the transition to baseball, regardless if he was an average player and if he was okay in baseball, no one would ever give him that credit because he was Mike. He was Michael Jordan. It was like, yo, stick to basketball. You're never going to make it in this baseball. And he wasn't like garbage. It's just you're dealing with people who do what they do every day. But you're still dope. You're still equally talented. Saying they say everything to sum it up and answer the question. No, I don't fall in that. I don't fall in that line because I've been able to do everything since the beginning of my creation of, you know, my career. And I've been able. I started off battle rapping. I never stopped battle rapping. You know, I was always. You come to my shows. I do what I do, and I love the competition. So I feel like it's going to be very interesting.
And I end up on this. Going into a battle with Arsonal, I think people are going to be critics just because they haven't seen you in this standard, you know, 2014, you know, battle format. So it's hard. People are going to speculate what they speculate. Might be a little bit easier for you because if you exceed that expectation, you know what I mean. People are going to super fuck with you, but. Just can you explain to people like what your mental process is going into this so they know that you're not somewhere out of left field?
Before I do that, I'm a Drect. This banana pie, cake, bread, whatever this is incredible. Shout out to Mom for making this. This is my breakfast this morning and this is delicious. Back to the question. Man, I'm gonna be focused. A lot of people said that I wouldn't be able to get paid what I asked for. They said I was crazy for asking that, for demanding that. They said you're out of your mind. You've never battled in this type of basis before in this format. You think they're gonna pay you that much money to get on that? That's done. Competition-wise, I'm one of the most competitive people in the world, and that's with anything I do in life. I've always been competitive. I've always seen myself as someone who belongs in the top ranks, and I'm going to work hard to get to the top ranks. When I first started rapping, I still remember people saying you'll never make it. Record sales, 100,000 record sales later, independent. Platinum plaques later, gold plaques later, ghostwriting songs later, world tours later, sold out shows later. Arenas, sold out arenas later, clothing lines later, cars, jewelry, Your girls later. I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? 31, 32 years old. Been all around the world. Great father. Community activist. 10 years of community non-profit organizations. Feeding over 100,000 of people. All of these things that I told I would never be able to do. All of these things that people said that I would never have a chance to do. You know what I'm saying? When my mother died, people said that that would kill my mental balance, my focusness. I would fall off. My father died. They said that I would lose my life in these streets. You know, I'm still here, man. Drug-free, no alcohol, no substances. 6 years going on 7 years sober. Positive example in my community. Rebel, stand on my own 2 feet. Back against the wall, me against the world. Live like an underdog, always will be. Always got a chip on my shoulder for being talented and feeling like people never gonna give you the credit that you just gonna get. I'm still here. January 30th, Mistah F.A.B versus Arsonal, Oakland, California. Make sure y'all tune in. It's gonna be crazy.